So I made a video and I talked about how I ran into a gray, an extraterrestrial being, man. Fucking alien, my word. I'm not lying. I never believed in that shit. Ever. Like, I thought maybe, maybe like some type of fucking aircrafts of some sort. You know, but the whole thing with the aliens and stuff like that and the grays, and I just couldn't see that happening. Ever running into an alien, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? But, yeah, for sure. I don't know, that's what I'm calling it, because whatever like, it was down there and it was at nighttime. This is where it happened. Like, this is like right on the ends, like the States is on the other side. Olympic Mountains, like Pacific Ocean, you know. This is a native burial right here. This whole place is just lit up with paranormal activity. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, I've seen literally ghosts, like people walking in front of me and then disappearing. And I'm like tripping right out, like freaking out. You know what I mean? And I don't do no drugs. Like I said, I don't do drugs. I don't do mushrooms. I don't do none of that shit. Anyway, so it was like 1, 2 in the morning or something like that. I remember it was like a full moon. It was bright. You know what I mean? It was still kind of bright, you know, at nighttime because of the moon and shit. And then I'm smoking a spliff and I'm walking through this trail over here, like where that huge little patch of bush is right there. And I'm walking through and I got like a quarter through and there's like some guy standing like sideways in a path like this, not facing me, just like this. And a really tall guy wearing some type of a costume. Like, even the head was shaped like a longer head. Like, it was trippy as fuck. Like, I thought it was some tweaker. I thought some guy was tweaking on meth. And I've seen a couple guys wearing a Superman suit, walking around in a Batman suit out here, like, and they believe that they are Superman and Batman for real. Like, the drugs melted their heads. I don't know. But bottom line is, I just thought it was some guy tweaking in there. And so I stopped. And, like, I could hardly see him, but he was wearing some all gray, you know, looked like a costume. And I'm thinking, like, is it fucking Halloween? I'm like, it's summertime, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, this guy's just tweaking, right? So this could be a threat, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, you good? And I yelled and just stood there. It didn't respond. And then I took a couple steps again and I was like, yo, you good? And I like yelled louder, and all my word, it turned its head, looked at me, and all I seen was black open up in its face, my word. And it hissed, like it was like like it was like a hiss. And immediately I felt threatened, and it felt like I got hit with some type of an emotion. Like, when it hissed at me, I felt like it made me feel like what it would feel like if you were just to drop me off in outer space, in void, empty, huge mass space. The feeling of that before you would die, like, of that huge space feeling, the not from this earth. Like, those were the things that it told me when it hit me with that. Like, I don't know. And then I looked that shit up, and it says that they can telepathically, like, communicate. And it hissed at me, and it hit me with this emotion and this fucking beam immediately, and I felt like outer space. That's all I knew, like, from what it told me. And it was like a threat. It felt threatening, like, I'm not from here, I'm from outside of this earth, like, you know. And I felt that, and I was like, oh my god. And like, literally, my word, I started running at the motherfucker. I started running at him, and I started screaming and shit. I'm like, yo. And I started running, and then it took like 3 steps slow into the bush, and I seen where it went in, and I ran right up to that spot. And like, I had a machete, and like, you know, I had bear mace. I started spraying bear mace in the fucking bush where he went in, right? My word. And I'm looking, and like, yo, I'm trying to kick through. Like, there's no way to get through that, like, in that whole stretch. Like, it was too thick. The bush was too thick on that. It was all thorns. And I'm like, now I'm tripping, like, you know what I mean? Now I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened, right? And then I'm like yelling in there. I'm like, yo, you know, I'm freaking out because I feel threatened, like, straight up. I feel like who knows what this guy was attempting to do. Like, he could have been trying to kill someone or fucking rape somebody or some shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's odd behavior, you know? So I was like, you ran into, you know, wrong situation, you know? So I was like, yeah. So anyways, that was my encounter, and it didn't register until after, like hours later, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Everything just went boom, and I was like, no way. I'm like, there's no fucking way. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's no way. But I remember when I seen here, those two people just literally disappear in front of me, like 10 feet in front of me, like poof. And I ran over there, like, bro, this happened right close enough to me that I knew for sure that it wasn't just, you know, and I ran after these people that I see, you know what I'm saying? And that's never happened to me in my life. That only happened twice, and then that situation there, and it's never happened again. Probably never will. You know what I mean? But seriously, man, the only thing that I could say was there was no foot. It was like, you think that guy would have been running, especially when I started spraying the bear mace in there. It's going like 20 feet, that shit, man. Like, you know? And it's like, yeah. So I'm like, you would have heard him running through the bush or whatever, trying to get away. There was no sound. I'm like listening. I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm like, come on. You know, freaking out. It was crazy. But yeah, that's where it happened. I'll do another video, not today, but I'll go down there and I'll walk on that path, and I'll put it on the end of this just to show you guys where it was. But it's great. Look at the environment, you know? Look at the ocean. Look how huge that is. It's like the ends of the earth right there. Those are all mountains way back there. But yeah, man. I think extraterrestrials are real now. Straight up. And that's scary, because these things, if they have that type of power, and it's hostile or it's evil, you know what I mean? That's not good, man. Especially if I can walk into one like that, and that can really happen, you know, and I didn't get like abducted because I'm a child of God. It had no authority over me, so it couldn't do nothing to me. So it just let me know what it was, and it warned me telepathically. Because I don't know, that experience that I just described really happened, and then after the fact I went and read up on all of that, and it all matched what my experience was. So I wasn't like manifesting that in my head, you know what I mean? It was like, when it went like that was like kind of scary, you know? I was like, because I've never experienced anything weird like that. I never ghosts. I didn't believe that, you know? Like, sometimes I've heard crazy shit, like things moving, and like, you know, and you think, yeah, there's probably ghosts, you know what I mean? Obviously. But you're never gonna see like a person, like, you know what I mean? And that's like in the movies. But, you know, that happened twice, and then that, and I'm just like, alright, I'm convinced. That's it. That was good enough for me. Shit, fucking tall, gray looking things fucking hissing at me and shit. Opening their fucking big fucking faces up. Like, yeah, all I could feel was void, empty space outside of Earth. That's what I was told. That's what it felt like. That was the feeling, and it was weird as fuck. Like, I've never felt that feeling, or had that realization before, or understood something like that. You know, it was like, you can't even describe it. But yeah, that was my experience. Somebody asked me in the comments to make a more in-depth video about the experience that I had apparently with a gray alien. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about that, because I'm still, you know, on the fence, like, but still nothing is adding up with that. So that was a weird trip. So let me know.